Hi, and welcome to a sound clip from our Bible study discussions every Tuesday night from 6:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. in Pakalani. Please enjoy.
All right, this is what we're discussing today, very quickly before I talk too much. Last week we talked about comparison. We looked at the story of the prodigal son, and we talked about how comparison is a thief. Comparison steals focus. Comparison steals potential. Comparison steals our ability to be in the moment and make the best of the moment. You can't enjoy your reality. You can't enjoy what you are meant to enjoy if you live with an attitude of comparison. And we looked at the prodigal son, the story of the prodigal son, and we had a look at the older brother's attitude and how he responded to his brother coming home after a very, very early episode of I Blew It. He was bitter, and one of the bullets in his gun was comparison. He mentioned it to the father. He said, I have never left your side. I haven't even asked for my inheritance early. I've done what I'm supposed to do. But you never did for me what you've done for this person who hasn't done any of the things I've done. So I don't want to talk too much about what we discussed last week. I think it's still up on the platform. But basically along those lines, we discussed that older brother could not live in the moment. That older brother failed to actualize what he was supposed to enjoy. And that's a lost son coming home. And for one reason or the other, we also find ourselves in those positions. Particularly maybe because of comparison, among other things. So with that in mind, we said that this week we're going to discuss something related, and that's the issue of money. Because yet again, comparison and our attitudes towards money features comparison. So without talking too much, let me go to Matthew. The book of Matthew, chapter 6, verse 24. It says, no one can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or he will be devoted to one and despise the other. You cannot serve God and mammon. And the Amplified here puts in brackets money, possessions, fame, status, or whatever is valued more than the Lord. You cannot serve God and money. So it's important to us as followers of Christ who want to do right by God to be on the right end of this scripture, to not be found attempting to serve two masters. But even in the midst of not being found to attempt to serve two masters, to an extent, the issue of comparison tends to creep in. Because the things that money can buy, the things, the stuff that's also listed here in the Amplified version, is kind of connected to money in a lot of ways. And if we can eliminate comparison in our hearts, if we can eliminate this bitterness or this bullet that we have in the chamber anytime we want to feel bad about our circumstances based on how other people are doing financially, we'll be on our way to not serving two masters. We'll be on our way to not serving God and money. But now here's the thing, money is important. Money is needed. Unless you live off the grid, unless you're somebody who has found a way somehow, and if you find a way, please let me know. Find a way somehow to live on a piece of land for free, to have shelter for free, to have utilities and everything that you need for free. Unless you are such a person, you're going to need money at some point. But you cannot serve God and money. And I like how the scripture here is very, very clear, ensuring that one of the competitors in our hearts for the place that God has is money. So your attitude towards money, especially with comparison in mind, is very important. It's very important to get a hold on it. It's very important to have a healthy ethos about money. An ethos is a belief system, right? Your guiding beliefs, right? It's very important to have a good ethos on money if you want to be found on the right side of the scripture. And practice makes permanent. A lot of people are trying to eliminate, and I appreciate that, the saying that practice makes perfect. Now, perfect practice makes perfect. You can seriously, diligently, with all your heart, practice the wrong thing and die doing it. And today's discussion basically is going to be, what is your ethos and your guiding beliefs? And let's interrogate that around money, because that's actually what you're gonna practice in your life. Now the question is, are you practicing an appropriate ethos? Are you practicing appropriate beliefs towards money? Because then you may be able to also start to eliminate comparison. You may start to be able to have a healthier and happier, or should I say content, mental health, even in terms of money and provision, right? So just to kick off the discussion, I'm going to give you an example of some of the scriptures. So let's open up the Bible, right? To set the tone, I'm going to show you some of the scriptures that I look at that guide what I believe about money. So the first one here is Proverbs 10 verse 4. It says, "Poor is he who works with a negligent and idle hand, but the hand of the diligent makes him rich." So the first thing, before I complain about my circumstances and how things are not working out for me in terms of money and how I don't have money and how somebody else has money, is how negligent or idle are my hands. I believe in Jehovah Jireh, the provider. I believe that the Lord can bless you and give you, but I can't do his job for him. That's his end. I can only be accountable to what I'm seeing in the scriptures in terms of what I can do, my part. And that's what I look at, number one. Negligent and idle hands. Am I counted in this number of people? That's what I start to try and eliminate, because I believe diligent hands will make rich, right? And back to that saying that perfect practice makes perfect. Even in being diligent, let's not be diligent in the wrong things or in the wrong ways. Otherwise, every hard-working person who wakes up at 4 a.m. would be rich. There's something that they're getting wrong, right? There's a tweak that needs to happen. And once they tweak that and be diligent, after that tweak, perhaps the results will change, right? The next one, Proverbs 28:19 and 20. "Those who work the land will have abundant food, but those who chase fantasies will have their fill of poverty." That's pretty harsh. Proverbs can be pretty harsh. 20. "A faithful person will be richly blessed, but one eager to get rich will not go unpunished." I think the scripture is talking about shortcuts and all kinds of dark and criminal ways or unethical ways to get rich. And I think lately, right now, and recording this in April 2023, there's a very, very hectic story in the news that's making a buzz in this region of the world of people who are going punished for ill-gotten riches. They don't all get punished, based on what I'm seeing, but I don't know. I don't want to disagree with the scriptures. But yeah, what are your guiding beliefs? What's your ethos towards money? Interrogate it. See if it is something that you are willing to die practicing. If not, now is the time to change it. Now is the time to rethink. Now is the time to have a look at the scriptures and say, am I interpreting the scriptures properly? Or do I need to join groups like these where we can now discuss and say, hang on, maybe I'm getting it wrong and I need to tweak my interpretation of the scripture. If you believe with all your heart that Ndoda must provide, and it's in the Bible, we're all learning, it's fine. We won't judge you. Maybe outrightly, maybe in our heads we'll judge you. But if you really truly believe something, you shouldn't be afraid of being judged. Say it and let's see if it will hold water. If not, then let's be grateful for help. Let's be grateful for an opportunity to get the right ethos, the right guiding beliefs in this Christian walk towards money. And then maybe it will assist us with comparison and not comparing and looking to the left and the right as to why things are not working out, if they're not working out for us or for a loved one. So let's discuss. I think I've talked too much. That's all for today.
Thank you for taking your time to listen in. Feel free to add your thoughts in the comment section or join us in person if and when you can. May God bless you.